Okay. Uh, Hi everyone. So in the last class we talked about the dynamics of inviscid flow, but in this week we will go through few problems where we can exactly solve the Navier-Stokes equation. And in class, yeah, professor already solved the plane Coet flow or flow between two plates and plane Coet flow and flow through 5 or the Hagen-Fuseli flow, and also he discussed about the Taylor-Coet flow or flow between two concentric circular cylinder. So we will go through, I will derive few of the velocity profile. Uh, One is for the Hagen-Fuseli flow and another is the plane Coet flow. Okay, so let's see that how velocity profile, like how we can formally derive the velocity profile for these two cases. So first I will discuss about the flow through pipe. So flow through a circular pipe, or it is known as Hagen-Fuseli flow. Okay, so what we are considering here is this, that I have a circular pipe this is my central line, I have a circular pipe like this, and there is a flow, a steady uniform flow, initially steady uniform flow as the inlet. I have the radius of the pipe as capital R, and this is my Z direction. This is my Z direction, and I want to calculate that what is the velocity profile, like what is the fluid velocity within the pipe. Okay, so I have R, theta and Z coordinate system like this. So if I consider the cylinder like this, like the circular cross section of the cylinder like this, then I have R, theta and Z coordinate system, something like this. So here I will have theta, this is my R and this is my Z. Okay, so before proceeding, I'll just assume some I'll just write down some assumption. So the number one assumption is that flow is steady. That means the flow variable does not depend on the time. The number two assumption is that flow is fully developed. Okay, I will go through the meaning of like what do I mean by fully developed flow, that I will discuss in a minute. Number three is that flow is incompressible. That means the divergence of the velocity profile is 0. Flow is axisymmetric. That means the flow variable doesn't depend on the theta, depends on the parameter theta. Okay, so you can write it is in this way. That means dou theta of any parameter is equals to 0. Okay, that is the meaning of this. Number 5 is that flow is parallel. Flow is parallel. What do I mean by parallel flow? So essentially what I am saying is that VR is equals to 0 and V theta is equals to 0. Okay, and only component. So what I am trying to say by this is that V theta VR is 0. Okay, then I am saying that V theta is 0 and Vz is non-zero. That means you have only flow parallel to the z axis. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, number 6 is that no body force acting in the z direction, or no body force in the problem. Okay, so these are the assumptions. Now let me write down the continuity equation in cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so the continuity equation in cylindrical coordinate system. How will it look like? That dou VR by dou R plus VR by R plus 1 by R dou V theta dou theta plus dou Vz by dou Z is equal to 0. Is this right? So what are the assumptions I put? That VR is equals to 0. That means this term is 0. This term is also 0. V theta is also 0. Right? So I have only dou Vz dou Z is equals to 0. That means dou Vz dou Z is equals to 0. What does it mean by this? That means Vz is not a function of Z. Is that right? Okay. And for axisymmetric flow assumption, axisymmetric flow assumption, dou Vz by dou theta is equals to 0. That implies Vz is not a function of theta also. Okay, so Vz is not a function of theta, Vz is not a function of Z. That means what? That means Vz is a function of R only, that is the radial coordinate. So this is very important. based on this assumption I can easily say that Vz is a function of r only. Fine. Now let me write down the momentum equation in r direction. Okay, so what is the momentum equation in r direction? If I write it down, so it is rho into dou Vr by dou r plus Vr dou Vr by sorry it is rho dou Vr by dou t plus Vr dou dou r minus v theta square by r, is it right, plus v theta by r into dou Vr by dou Vr dou theta plus Vz into dou Vr by dou z. Is this right? Is equal to minus dou p dou r plus, there is no body force term, and also I am neglecting gravity also in this case, so that body force term will be 0. So what I have next, I will have mu into dou r of 1 by r dou r of r dr, am I right? Yes, plus 1 by r square dou 2 Vr by dou theta square. So this is basically the Laplacian of Vr, okay, in cylindrical coordinate system. This is the Laplacian of Vr in the cylindrical coordinate system that I will. So what I am writing essentially here is the Laplacian of Vr in the cylindrical coordinate system minus, so 1 by r square dou 2 Vr by dou r divided by 2 by r square dou v theta by dou theta. Yeah, fine. Plus dou square Vr by dou z square. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is the equation in r direction. So what are 0 in this case? Because Vr is 0, that means this term is 0, this term is also 0, v theta is 0, this term is also 0, this term is also 0, and here v theta is 0, this term is also 0. What about this? So we don't know anything about dou p dou r so far. Here Vr is 0, Vr is 0, this term is also 0, this term is also 0. That means what I am getting essentially from here is that dou p dou r is equals to 0. That means what? That means p is not a function of r. This is the simple conclusion from r momentum equation. Okay, this is the conclusion from r momentum equation, that dou p dou r is equals to 0. So far we have drawn two conclusions. One is that velocity along the z direction, along the length of the pipe, is function of r only, and the second is that p is a that means the pressure is not a function of radial coordinates r. That is so far from the r momentum equation. Now let us write down the momentum equation in theta direction. Okay, so what is the momentum equation in theta direction? So theta direction momentum equation is like this. So I have rho dou v theta by dou v theta dou t plus Vr dou v theta by dou r plus v theta by r, okay, into plus v theta by r into dou v theta dou theta plus v theta vr by r plus vz dou v theta dou z. So rho, just let me check whether I have wrote it correctly. So yeah, this is the left hand side of the Navier-Stokes equation for this case. Vr dou v theta by dou r dou v theta dou r v theta by r dou v theta dou theta, yes, it is right, okay, is equal to minus 1 by r, okay, equal to minus 1 by r dou p dou theta plus, I am just writing it, Laplacian of v theta. Okay, so I can write it down in a more explicit form, plus mu into dou r of 1 by r r v theta, right, plus 1 by r square dou 2 v theta by dou theta square plus 2 by r square dou v theta by dou theta plus dou 2 v theta by dou z square. So what are the terms which are 0 here? V theta is 0, and that is also from the steady condition, because Vr, V theta and Vz, none of these are function of t, okay, because of the steady flow. Vr is 0, V theta is 0, this term is also 0, so this entire term is 0 because this term is 0. Here V theta is 0, this term is also 0, this term is also 0, this term is also 0. That means what I am getting from here again, that dou p dou theta is equals to 0. That means p is not a function of theta also. So p is not a function of r, p is not a function of theta. That means, but for the flow, pressure should be a function of r. Sorry, pressure should be a function of along the flow direction, that is the z direction. Okay. Now, so by fully developed flow, what I mean is that the left hand side of the Navier-Stokes equation is 0 for both the cases. This is what we mean by the fully developed flow. We will see the momentum equation in the z direction, and we will see that again that the left hand side of the Navier-Stokes equations is 0. So for fully developed flow, the velocity profile will not change along the flow directions, okay, and that means the left hand side of the Navier-Stokes equations is trivially 0. So what I conclude from here, so p is a function of r. Okay, sorry, I am extremely sorry. P is not a function of r, p is not a function of theta, so p is a function of z only. Okay, so this is very important. That means the pressure is a function of z only. Okay, now let us write down the momentum equation in z direction. So what will be the momentum equation in z direction? It will be rho dou Vz dou t plus Vr dou Vz dou r plus V theta by r dou Vz dou theta plus Vz dou Vz by dou Vz dou z. So this is the left hand side of the Navier-Stokes equations in this case in cylindrical coordinate system is equals to minus dou p dou z plus mu into 1 by r, again the same term, dou r of r dou Vz dou r. Am I right in this? Yes. Plus 1 by r square dou theta square plus square. That's the Navier-Stokes equations in z direction, that is along the flow direction. Now again here you check, Vz is not a function of t, Vr equals to 0, V theta is equals to 0, and Vz is not a function of z. That's why this dou Vz by dou z equals to 0. Here what happens? The Vz is not a function of theta, Vz is not a function of z. Okay, so what I am getting from here, and p is a function of z only. Okay, so the left hand side is again 0 of the Navier-Stokes equation. So effectively what I am getting is that minus dp dz plus mu into 1 by r ddr of r dvz by dr is equals to 0. Okay, so this is the condition. So this is the equation which I got for jet momentum equation. So it is possible to solve analytically, right? So that means from here what I can write, I will say this dou p dou z term is a constant term, that I have to first assume. So that means the pressure along the flow direction or along the z direction, the gradient of pressure is constant along the flow direction. Okay, so assume that dp dz is equal to constant. Okay, so along a constant pressure difference between the inlet and the outlet. Okay, so if I do that, then what I am getting from here, so I can write that I can write that ddr of r dvz by dr is equal to, what I am getting from here is that r by mu dp dz. So if I integrate one, so now what I am getting, r dvz by dr is equal to 1 by mu r square by 2 dp dz plus some constant c1. Am I right? Yes. Now let us write down few more steps. So dvz by dr, dvz dr 1 by 2 mu r into dp dz plus c1 by r. Let us integrate one more time. So what will be vz? Vz is equals to 1 by 4 mu. Yes, it will be 1 by 4 mu r square dp dz plus c1 ln r plus c2. Where c1 and c2 are the constant. which I need to calculate from the boundary condition. So this is the general form of the Vz for laminar flow through a pipe with constant pressure gradient, fully developed, steady, incompressible, axisymmetric and parallel flow. Okay, so these I need to remember. Now what is the boundary condition here? So the boundary condition is that, so at the central line the velocity is maximum. Okay, so the first boundary condition is that at r is equal to 0, my dvz by dr is equal to 0. Okay, what I get from here, so dvz by dr at this expression at r is equals to 0, that means c1 equal to 0. You can easily see that the velocity along the r direction should not have some function which is some logarithmic function ln of r. It is not possible. So that means the c1 is equals to 0. What about my second boundary condition? At r is equals to capital R, my Vz is equals to 0. That is called the no slip boundary condition. Okay, so what do I get from here? C1 equals to 0 from the previous boundary condition. That means the C2 is equals to 1 by 4 mu capital R square into minus dp dz. This is the value of C2. That means the velocity profile which I get finally, Vz as a function of r, is equal to, what will be that? If I take r square common, yeah, so it will be r square, so it will be r square by 4 mu minus dp dz into 1 minus small r square by capital R square. So this is the velocity profile for flow through a pipe, which you need to remember. That means the velocity profile is a parabolic profile. Okay, how will it look like if I draw the velocity profile? Let's say if I draw the velocity profile somewhere here, what will be the velocity profile? I am not drawing at the inlet. There are some reasons for that, because it will take some time for the flow to be fully developed, and my analysis is valid in the fully developed regime. Okay, so that's why there is the concept of some entrance length which is there, and a boundary layer will develop for that. So my velocity profile will look something like this parabolic velocity profile. Okay, so the velocity at the center line is maximum, and then it will look like this. This is my velocity profile, which is a parabolic velocity profile, which you can see from the expressions itself. So now using this velocity profile